welcome back, folks. So in the last video with this 82 Chevy Silverado long wheelbase, I got the engine that was once locked up in the truck, got it cranked, found out the engine does run good. Since then, I did hook up the radiator. I had the radiator shroud in there for a little bit, just test running some more. Took it back out. I got some accessories hooked up, the power steering. I got the compressor on there with the bracket. I had to yank this header back off and double up on the header gasket to stop that exhaust leak. I'm so glad that car is gone. What else did we do? We found out that it had good oil pressure and it was holding water because I had water in it and it wasn't running hot. Ignition systems, all that working. Before I shut it down, I found out that the heater core started leaking water in the cab of the truck, and it was running down the toe board onto the floorboard. So I got to get that taken care of. We did find out that it was missing the driver's side gas tank, so we got tons of parts for this thing. Also, we found out that the rear end axle seals were leaking and it needed back brake attention. But like I said, since then we got a new driver's side gas tank in that box right there. We got all the straps already. We got new master cylinder, all new brake lines. What else we got? New rear brakes, new wheel cylinders. We got the diff cover gasket for the rear end. And so we should have everything we need to get this truck up and running. Also, we're still waiting on that shift linkage that goes from the steering column to the transmission. There was a problem with shipping on that, so we haven't got it yet. Probably had to get one from somewhere else. It's been like going on a week, about a week and a half now. Haven't got it yet, so we got to do some other plans with that. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this heater core out, because they show 3 different types of heater core for these trucks, and I want to make sure I get the right one. So doing that, I got to probably take this inner fender out, because there's bolts that holds the heater core box up on the bottom. I don't know if I can get to them with a swivel or something, but from what I've seen, it was some ants on the inside of the truck coming down from the heater box section, and it's probably full of ants, because I've been seeing a lot of ants running across the top of the truck. So I want to do this first before I get into putting the gas tank in, hooking all the fuel lines up to the carburetor correctly. I got a metal fuel line adapter you put on your Edelbrock carburetors so you can run the metal line up, put a rubber hose. Before I get into all that, I want to go ahead and get this heater core out, get that back in, try and button up everything up under the hood. That way I can get to the back of the truck, start working on the brakes. I got brake lines for the front, so I want to take care of the engine bay first, then move on back. So I'm going to go ahead and get this heater core ripped out and see what's in there, hoping ain't nothing too nasty. But we will see, because I know critters can find their way in those heater boxes, and it don't be too pretty. But I don't know if this, I know it's a 2-piece heater box. Look like the heater coil is over there. I know on these trucks you don't take the dashboard apart. I think you take the whole box out, and the heater core is in there with the evaporator core. I had to do some research. I don't think I've ever did a Chevy truck heater core before, but we'll figure it out, get it apart, get it matched up to a new one, and get the new one back in. So I did some research on the old Yuba tuba, because I've never did a C10 heater box before. And what you have to do, what I've seen, there is what's up on my tripod here? There's 3 mounting bolts on the outside. So you got 1 here, 2 down here at the bottom, and then you have to go inside and pull the heater box out. You got to unhook the ductwork, some cables. The heater box is actually inside up under the dash, so you have to pull the glove box out. So thank God for that, because I really didn't want to pull all this off. Like I say, I've never done one. So we're going to start by getting these hoses off, and then we'll move inside. All right, I'm inside the truck. I had trouble getting one of the lower nuts off of the heater core box studs, and one of the other ones down there just completely started spinning all the way. So I don't know if it's broke out of the heater box or what, but one of the videos I did see, the guy had the same problem with the top stud, and he just broke it off, and he used a nut and a bolt to go through to hold the box to the firewall. So now what I'm gonna do is I gotta take the dashboard glove box loose. Let me go get a 8mm. I had a feeling it was going to, one of them was going to start spinning because that one was so rusty, and I kept spraying it with penetrating oil, working it back and forth, and at least that one came off. That would have been the hardest one if I do have to break it, because it's right behind the fender well. So I probably have to take the wheel well. Probably have to take the wheel well out. Ooh, that's wrong size. Take the wheel well out and then get that stud broke. So this light is about to blind me though. There we go. I hate heater cores. These are somewhat easier ones though than your late model cars. You got to pull the whole dashboard out just to get to the heater core, and that can be hours and hours. So what is this? Some kind of installation. I'm hoping ain't nobody home, cause that would suck. I don't know what I'm putting my hand into. Dirt dauber's nest. Why did they have that up there? What was that? If it is something there, it's dead. They got this big piece of insulation up there, but I gotta take the top ductwork. This one right here is, I guess because the guy's truck I looked at, it wasn't an air conditioning truck. He had deleted the air conditioning and he just put in regular heater box. But here's your heater box here. I don't know why they got that insulation up there, but it should be somewhat loose. Yeah, but I got this top ductwork. I got to take this little ductwork piece off here. It's 8mm screws look like. This is destroyed. That goes to this vent up here. So we can pull that off. So I get that off, and it should be some cables, which I see the cables. I have no idea what that is for. I just rolled up some insulation and put it up there. But see that cable back there? That's for your blend door. Take that off. There's a clip that holds it, a vacuum line, and then the whole heater box should come out of there. So it's going to be a lot of moving around, shuffling around. You probably won't see much, but it's pretty much how you get it out. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. But I'm going to go ahead and get this heater box out so we can see what heater core we need and go from there. So I got the heater box loose and it started raining ants everywhere. I'm trying to get all these screws and stuff up, and clamps and gaskets. Ants came out of everywhere and they're coming down, falling down out of the heater box onto the ground. But that one screw that I couldn't get loose, you can clamp onto it right there. And I clamped onto it and I got it where it come loose, where I can get the heater box loose from the firewall, but I'm probably gonna have to cut it because that's as far as I can get it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's just covered with ants. So I'm gonna take the vacuum and get that up. There's also one more screw right there you have to get out. So hopefully I'm gonna get these ants up first, try and vacuum them as they fall, and go ahead and snatch this out. I don't know if it's something holding it on that side. I can't really tell, but this should be interesting. Alright, so I got the box out, kind of went through with the air hose and blew it out a little bit, get some of the ants out of there. I mean, this thing was just full. There's probably some still in there, but let's break it down, get this heater core out finally. So look like we have to take this cover here off, because that would hose the blend door, which swaps the heat from cold to hot. Well, the heat from hot to cold. So looks like just a bunch of screws. 9/32 maybe. That's the wrong size. These screws are so rusty. That's the wrong size anyway. This should be 9/32. It's a quarter inch screw. Or bolt. Let's see, a quarter. Yep. GM uses all different size, small bolts on these dashboards, heater boxes. Ooh, wow. When I took the screw out, ants came out. Oh man, that is wild. How did they hide in the screw hole? Man, these ants they the real deal. Some little bitty ants, like piss ants, I guess that's what they call them. There's gotta be some more screws. I'm thinking this on top to hose this. Yeah, there's gotta be something up here. That ain't it either. I'm tired of these ants running out. That's gonna be bigger. No, I think the seal comes out. Ooh, they're all in there. Oh my gosh. They're all inside the insulation. This should have been an outside job. Let me get the light so I can see up in there, whatever I did with the light. Yeah, they're nesting all in every crevice of this box. Trying to see what keeps this from coming apart. This seal is no good anymore. It's infested with ants. Woo! Look at them. Oh my gosh, I got a vacuum. You ever been bit by an ant before? It sucks. And they're all in there. Woo, there they go right there. I gotta get this out. Might as well take the whole box apart. Now we're starting to move. Some more screws on the other side. I keep getting the wrong sockets. I got them all mixed up in my pocket. Try and keep up with the screws that I know where they go. Yeah, we're gonna have to take this whole box apart. I'd rather take it all apart anyway, because it's got all those doggone ants in there. Might as well take it apart and clean it out. And I hope it ain't a reason why they're in there. Oh, it's like opening up King Tut's tomb. What hole is that on there? Oh. Like a thingy back here that pulls the defrost. So what else is holding it? Why won't it? Oh, there's two screws right there hidden. I didn't see him. Is that not the right size? Nope. It's a 1/4 inch. I didn't see those. All right, now we're getting somewhere. Oh my Lord. My. Ant Central. Oh my God. They are in there. They are scrabbling around. There's the heater core anyway. You can see where it's busted at. Right there at the bottom, looks like. Let me set this down so I can get the vacuum. I took apart a little bit too much than I had to, but this thing needs to go outside and be hosed down because they're still coming out of there. They're up there too. Need to take my vacuum outside and clean it out. So this is the heater core. It's just like a miniature radiator. And your blower motor blows air through these fins, which inside of the fins, just like a radiator, it blows the heat off of the coils into your car or truck. And that's what produces heat. Okay, more vacuum time. Well, the heater core is out, so now I can match it up and get the correct one. So I'll get the correct one, get the box cleaned out, we'll get it all back together. And I know the blower motor works because it was on one time when I had got the key ignition all hooked up. So they got that piece of insulation stuffed in there for some reason. I don't know what they were trying to do. Keep the heat from blowing in all the time. I know in these older vehicles, when the blend doors and stuff are not working right, you have continuous heat inside the cab. And so they probably had that insulation to block the heat. But we'll go through the vacuum system and make sure all that works. But it's still got ants coming out of it. I'm gonna get this stuff outside, get it cleaned up, and take it to the parts store and get the right parts. Okay, so went to O'Reilly's and picked up a heater core. This is the part number. It's a Murray brand. Of course, O'Reilly's use Murray brand. I don't know if AutoZone or those other places use it, but it's brand new, straight out of the box. So I compared it to the old one, same thing. So I got the box all cleaned out, took it outside, cleaned it out real good. So now we can put, I think this goes like this. This little strap is broke, which is not a big deal. Stuff gets water in it, the water leaking from the heater core and stuff, and it'll rust that stuff out. They probably was running straight water in this thing at one time, and it's set with water in it, and that's what messed up the heater core. It could have frozen and busted, but looked like it just rotted, so we don't know if that's the original one or not. Let's see here. But that had to stay like that. It should be all right. It's not going anywhere, that little strap being broken. So let's get the top part of the box. And that went in. How did it go back in there? So, it goes like that. Did I put the heater core in backwards? Yeah, I put the heater core in backwards. It's got to go the other way. Slides in the box like that. Now we got to put all these screws back in this cover. covers up that part of the heater core. Something hopped out in there. There's a little trap door came out in this spot. That is for your defrost. These heater boxes are real easy to build if you had to build one. I'm pretty sure LMC or somebody like that probably sells a heater box. Probably just buy the whole heater box. That's a different size. Whoop. I don't drop nothing in my garbage can. I never get it. Matter of fact, I think the shorter ones went here. More there. And then there's 4 to go down here. Got to have an extension for those. Grab an extension. the whole end of my screwdriver came out with the magnet. Never seen that before. Ah. Stupid screw won't start. It's almost like I gotta put some tape on the screw to make it stay on there. Just a little tape. What is going on here? Why won't you line up? What is going on? Finally. And I think that's it. Yep, that's all the screws. So now I just got to put this little thing on top that your cable hooks to open your hot and cold selection. You want to be careful using an impact or a ratchet, battery powered. Those screws, I mean, these holes can be real brittle. You can strip it out easy. But all that's back in, so when you pull the cable, that opens this little door, switch it from hot to cold. And then you got these ones, these little vacuum things here. That's for your defrost. No, that is for floor. Is that right? No, that's for defrost, I think. And defrost, and there's another one for vent. Okay, this would be for, this one is for vent. That little thing's broke. I have to make something, but it's supposed to pull it. Supposed to pull it open like that. That puts it on vents, so it switches. So this little plastic thing here is broke off. Somebody tried to put a washer on there to catch it. This little neoprene or Teflon thing. I might be able to put a bigger washer on there, and that way it'll at least pull it right, and that vacuum pulls it. They put a bigger washer on there, but it ain't grabbing it. I don't know if I'll be able to fix that or not. Might come up with something though. Yeah, the little plastic. That's a little weak piece of plastic that's on there too. That's the other end of it. It's supposed to be connected to this little arm. I might just get a bigger washer, put a bigger washer on there, so that way it'll be connected back to that door. And other than that, that box is ready to go back in. So I'm gonna play around and fix that and get it back in the truck, get the heater hoses hooked up. I got the fuel line and stuff hooked up to the carburetor going to the original fuel pump. So now I gotta play around with the gas tank. So I won't be able to crank it up just yet to test the heat, because I want to go ahead and start on the gas tank, get the fuel lines ran so it can run on its own system. But as far as the heater core box, it's all back together, new heater core. So. Alright, so I came up with something to fix this little piece on the other side of this vacuum puller, or whatever you want to call it, can. So I just put like a piece of plumber's strip across there. Like I said, the end of that tab was broken off, and they had put a washer on there, but it wasn't big enough to grab that. And I was going to put a bigger washer, and I mean, so I just came up with this, and this works fine. As this arm pulls from that vacuum canister thing, it pulls this door open. So that's a lot better than having a big washer than that thing, because it's a lot of force pulling this door, and that works better. Like I say, that washer, it would have just slid away from up under there, probably broke some more. So alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing in there finally. Alright, now we got the heater core in, all that's behind us now, dash is back together. It's time to put the fuel tank in this thing. I got a new fuel tank here. I think this is a 20-gallon fuel tank. This is a brand new one in the box, straight from O'Reilly's, I think. It's a Dorman brand. And we got brand new fuel pump sending unit, brand new. So it's a FG05F from Spectra. I think this is O'Reilly brand too, Spectra, a Spectrum Precision, sorry. Okay, well, let's bust open this fuel tank and see what we got. Now these trucks, I think they had a 16-gallon on one side and a 20-gallon on the other side, something like that. Maybe that's the short wheelbase trucks that had the dual gas tanks. Of course, they had a switch on the dash, which this one's got, that you can switch from tank to tank, and the fuel gauge will move right along with it. A lot of Fords had it, Chevrolet. So it was a kind of a big deal. I don't think you could even get them with one fuel tank. You had to get the dual, unless the short wheelbases came with one. I'm not sure. This is for a long wheelbase. The short wheelbase trucks would be, fuel tank would be a lot shorter. I don't really want to destroy the box because we have to return it for a reason. The box won't be all beat up. Brand new. Nothing like having brand new stuff. Whoa! Brand spank. So we got the sending unit. Which they had a lot of different tank sizes on this truck and sending unit setups. And, I mean, GM was just all over the place with these trucks. One year had this, another year had this. This model had this, the other one had that. So there's the brand new sending unit by Spectrum. It's got a ground wire, so that would drop in. Nope, go the other way. Goes in the tank like that. It should have a ring, a locking ring, and a O-ring. Yeah. I mean, if you're building one of these trucks and you can spare the cash, I say just go and get a new gas tank. I mean, and sending unit. Because it sucks to have anything that the gas hand don't work or rust in the gas tank. You got to be constantly changing out filters and all that. I would say go ahead, buy it new, put it in, be done with it. You know, sometimes you can get by cleaning fuel tanks, get them clean good enough where you can actually run it. I mean, if it's something you're gonna sell, you can get by with it, I say do it. But if it's something that you're gonna keep and you're gonna drive every day, I say go ahead and put you a new fuel tank in there, be done. So this one has a 3-hose setup. One of them's gonna be reserved. Let's see. So that'll be the main that's got the sock filter on it. One of them's going to be a breather. So one's going to be a return. So this don't have a, oh, I'm thinking about motorcycles, sorry. So you got a breather here, the middle one. Oh, that's going to run up to the canister probably. It's got like a little thing in there, like a check valve. And I guess this will be return, the small one, and then this will be your main one. So usually people with these trucks, they only run the one gas tank anyway. That's why the other gas tank, they leave gas in it, it gets stale, bad, rust out. If you're gonna run both tanks, I say at least try and keep some good gas. In both of them. Plus, sometimes that switch will go out. It's like a valve up under the truck that switches the fuel from tank to tank. That'll go bad, and then you got a tank full of gas on the tank that you can't switch back to. Then people be like, oh, I ain't worried about it, I'm gonna run the other tank. And that tank's just sitting there with bad gas. So anyway, the sending unit's in. luckily, they left the hose the filler neck and stuff. Luckily, man, that thing's full of rust. I don't even know if I even need to blow that out. That stuff's gonna get in that tank. We don't need no bad rust stuff. But they left the filler neck, that was good. So the filler neck could go on like that. Just a bolt to the frame or the bed of the truck, really. So I think we can put the tank in first and then put the filler neck in last. I think. I might be wrong. No, it ain't gonna give you no room to turn. So I guess the filler neck and tank has got to go in together. So that's going to require some jacks. So anyway, I am going to clean that filler neck out, get the straps and everything ready. I got the truck already jacked up. Gotta make sure I got some fuel line to go to these fuel lines here and to the truck. Make sure the ones under there ain't dry rotted. I should be able to get this tank in there. And hopefully the gas hand, all that stuff works. And we'll be running off of a fuel tank that's mounted in the truck, not a gas can. Alright, so the gas tank is ready. We got new fuel line on there. We got new hose clamps. We got the mounting straps. Now these have this type of mounting strap bracket that go around each end of it because it bolts to the side of the frame. And luckily the bolts, they just laid them on the floorboard of the truck. So I got the filler neck all cleaned out. So this thing is ready to go in. Hopefully everything goes in nice and smoothly, and we can get this part of this project over with, fill it with some gas, like I said, and it'll run off its own fuel system. And hopefully the gas hand works. I mean, we got a new sending unit. That mainly be the problem, but that switch also controls the gas hand. So because when you switch from tank to tank, it tells the gas hand which tank is full or empty. So hopefully that part of the system still works and we won't have to dig into the dash or none of that. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this tank up under there, get it hooked up. So we got a problem going on here. So this truck actually takes a 16-gallon gas tank on the on the driver's side. Got the wrong tank, so he's going to get the 16-gallon tank that goes on this side, and it's got a 16-gallon tank on the passenger side also. And I don't know why they were calling for a 20-gallon tank, because as you can see the length of the tank, you can about see where the spout is. When you put the filler neck, it's way too long. The filler neck is, it won't even hook up to the tank. It's like almost where the strap is. So we got the correct tank coming, and I'm gonna have to take the sending unit out, take the straps back off, put this back in the box, and we'll get the correct one up under there. But we did score some parts for the shift linkage today, which is good. We ordered some, but it got lost in the mail. But I found a guy here local. I knew about him, but I didn't know he had some square bodies he was parting out, and we got the linkage we need with the bushing, the spring. I really didn't need this part, but we got it all anyway. So this goes into the frame. The spring slides on like that, and then in the frame there's a bracket, and you got this Teflon bushing. It goes on that end, it rests in that bracket, and then this hooks to the transmission. This rod here goes up to the steering column, but there's a rod already on there, so I might just leave all this like it is, just put the whole assembly in there, don't break it down, but you can adjust your shift linkage here if you got some slop in it. Just loosen that bolt. You might have to squirt you some PB Blaster or something on here, and you can slide it up and down. So at least I'll be getting the shifter to work while I'm up under there, and I'm gonna go ahead and move back to the axle seals and the rear brakes. That'll be next. I'm waiting on a digital temperature sensor for it. I'm gonna have to put a temp sensor up on the, not temp sensor, temperature gauge up on the dash. The original gauge does not work. So we'll just have one on there. The oil pressure gauge work. So that's why I'm kind of just leaving all this out for now. And plus I still got to hook the fuel line up to the fuel pump. I got the fuel line ran from the carburetor to the fuel pump and a new filter and all. But that's why I left all this out, so I can get over in there and work if I need to. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this tank ready so we can take it back. Put the shifter in. We got the drive shaft. It's in the back of the truck. Hopefully it's the right one. And start working on those back brakes and axle seal. So found out that the drive shaft that goes, supposed to go to this truck, it was in the bed of it, is not the original drive shaft. This drive shaft is too short, and I guess they just tossed it in the bed to make it look like it had the right drive shaft. I don't know, but I gotta go pick up one hopefully tomorrow. So what else? We're waiting on the gas tank, and I started working on the brakes on the front. We got our new Napa brand master cylinder here. There's the part number, and I got it on. I usually don't bench bleed brake master cylinders. I just stick them on the car, truck, or whatever, and just bleed it out the bleeders on the wheel cylinders and the calipers. So we got our new brake lines for the front, left and right. So these are the O'Reilly brand. And we got us some Napa front brake pads. So we'll be putting these on the front. I can't get the box open. And Napa know how to keep you out of a brake box, huh? So we got new pads. So I believe these rotors will clean up once we hit the brake a couple times. I might just take the wire wheel and clean them up, get a lot of the rust off, check the bearings, make sure they're tight. I can see already that we don't have the correct brake pads for the front. It's like everything I touch on this truck is not correct. I might be wrong. Let me look and see. These might be the right ones. It's got the little metal right there. I just know it's been a lot of wrong stuff given. But anyway, the brake hoses, they go to the back of the caliper, back here. I don't know if you can see that. It's right there. It's got one of those square fittings. Comes up, it's supposed to bolt to the frame where the hose is, and then the hose actually go through the frame, and there is the brake line on the other side of the frame. I probably can show you easier on this side. You can see the brake line, the metal line, and then that's the rubber line. That one right there, that's the rubber line where it comes through the frame, and it has one of those speed nuts, I guess you call it, that holds it. So I find it easier to do it if your power steering pump not on there. You can get to it up top on each frame rail. That frame rail is real easy to get to, but I don't have the radiator shroud or nothing. Or you can just come through the bottom. But we're going to be replacing those brake lines because they look old, and should just be able to pull them out. That one's full of crust. So we'll get this zip tie off of here. Might put it back just the way we found it, because I don't know if it's supposed to have a clip or something. I think they just clip on the front. Oh, that's all rusted out. No wonder they had it zip tied. So these are probably the original brake lines. And brake lines, over time, they get old and brittle inside and they collapse. So when you hit the brakes, they'll let the fluid hold inside of it, especially if they stop up, and it'll hold your calipers where they're locked. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, get these brake lines off, or brake hoses off rather, get these calipers off. Hopefully they're not stuck. We don't have to replace them. I think it's two Allen head bolts. Two Allen head bolts. One there at the bottom. Get the caliper off, new brake lines, or hoses rather, on both sides, and then I guess while we wait, we can move on to the back, do that rear axle seals, and get the brakes and wheel cylinders on the back. And then we can fill this up with some clean, fresh brake fluid, and hopefully get the brakes bled up. And now we got the shifter hooked up. When we get the drive shaft in and all that, we can take this thing for a spin. Hopefully the transmission pans out. I think it's a 700R, and we'll go from there as usual. Alright, time for another shot on this gas tank deal here. So this is a 16-gallon tank, and like I said, some of these trucks came with two 16-gallon tanks. Some of them came with a 20-gallon on one side and 16 on the other. This part number is a Pt.4 Precision brand. So I've already got the straps ready to go on it, and we was able to retrieve the correct drive shaft. This came out of a 70 something, late 70s, early 80s long wheelbase, and you can clearly see the difference. I don't know what that drive shaft over there is out of, but it was in the back of the truck. But this one measured out to be correct, so this is the one we're going to go with. It's got some decent looking U-joints in the rear of it, and so I'm going to get this plugged in there, get it all hooked to the rear end, and then I'm going to get the gas tank in. I'm still working on the front brakes. I cut out on it the other night, but I'm going to clean those rotors up and put the new brake lines, kind of clean it up under there. I might throw a splash of black paint on there, and but I can put the gas tank in while it's up like this anyway. But anyway, I'm going to get this drive shaft in to make damn sure it's going to fit, which it should. This truck's got a 700R. The transmission in the other truck was it looked like a 700R. I couldn't really tell. It was on the ground. I was only able just to scoot up under there and get the drive shaft out. But I measured it out at I think 69.5, and I measured from the center of this U-joint cap to the center of the one at the end, and they say you can go anywhere from, like, I think it was 70 to 72, but you got to have some slack in the yoke because it's going to be sliding in and out of your transmission tail as you hit bumps and stuff like that. So you don't want it tight, you want some slack because it can mess up the bushings in the back part of the tail on the transmission. So anyway, I'm gonna get this plugged in there, and we'll get that gas tank in there and get it all hooked up and finish these brakes, or vice versa, whichever way. We're working on this thing. All right, we got some good news, good progress going on. So I got the new brake lines, new brake pads, took the calipers off, make sure they wasn't stuck or sticking on both sides. Went through, cleaned up a lot of the rust that I could with a wire brush, got that all painted black, did a Craigslist rebuild on both sides, and finally got the gas tank in and the dry shaft is in. So the dry shaft's in, is all hooked up. New 16-gallon gas tank all in. I haven't put any gas in it yet, but got the sending unit and everything hooked up. The filler neck, it's all hooked up. So our next thing to tackle will be this rear end. So I gotta pull the axles out of it. But what I want to do first is get this thing where it runs off of the new gas tank, so it can be running on its own fuel system. But we got this all buttoned up, the new master cylinder on. I got the new digital Amazon China brand special temp gauge. It had, like, well, it's not really digital, it has electronic sensor instead of the old style with the thermocouple thing. I don't know what I dropped, but I guess I dropped it. Oh, here it is. This one here just got one wire, and I'd rather have it like that, so you can run just one wire through the firewall, small wire, instead of running this big thing here, because you usually have to drill out a big hole in the firewall, find somewhere to fit that thermocouple through. And I figured this one with the one wire, it'll be a lot easier to just run one wire. Now, they had some mixed reviews about this thing. Some said it worked for a little bit and some said it didn't. So it comes with instructions, a little holder. I thought it came with the wire, but I guess it don't. You gotta run your own wire. It's crazy. Anyway, part number to this thing is, you can find it on Amazon. Made in China. Anyway, I'm gonna get this hooked up so I can unhook that one, and hopefully soon we'll be ready to take this thing for a test drive. But first we gotta tackle that rear end. That's the next big job, and rear brakes and wheel cylinders and rear brake hose. Okay, so finally up under this thing. I'm sorry if the heater cuts on, because it is like 30-something degrees, and hopefully y'all can still hear me. I got the mic on me, so let's see what's up with this diff here. We got to pull this cover off so we can pull the axles and replace the axle seals. Now, this is one of the brake lines the last brake line is the rear brake hose. I keep saying line. The rear brake hose. We're replacing it too with a new one. But to pull those axles on these, I wish it was like the Fords. The Fords, you can just loosen 4 bolts behind the axle flange where your studs are, and you can just pull the axles out that way. You don't even have to pull the diff cover, which Fords, the differential comes out of the housing after you pull the axles. It comes out towards the front of the rear end, and they're a lot easier to disassemble, I think. Some people might think different, but so we're going to pull this cover. I don't know what's that's holding. What is that bracket right there holding? So let's see, move that brake line out of the way, and now I need to get something to pop this cover loose. I don't know where this is going. It's going, that strap is going somewhere up there. I can smell the gear oil already. Oh, it holds the emergency brake cable. That looks like maybe a 10 millimeter. Can I get this? I don't know why they even put that on there. It might be a 3/8. Maybe we can just gingerly pry it out of the way. Yeah. And it fell off. So anyway, I think it's just sitting on a dowel. So there's our nice gear oil. It's really not that bad like I would have thought it would be. It's kind of lightish color. It's not black. So yeah, it's not that bad of oil. It looks pretty decent. I'm surprised, but most definitely the axle seals are leaking. So ain't no way around it but to that oil's not bad. It's not bad at all. I would have thought it would have came out of there like super black. But here's your gear setup. I got it in drive right now. So I need to put it in neutral. But as I can remember, you pull these, it's like this bolt right here, you pull it out, and I think that pin comes out of there, and there's some little, you pull this pin and then you pull the gears out, and then the axle will push in, and then some little clips that holds each axle in place inside of your differential. As I can remember, I mean, it's been a while since I did a GM differential. but I think that is an 8mm. Let me get some tools. I think that's an 8. Is that an 8? Nope. Must be a 1/4 inch or something. See here. This is a 1/4 inch. Let's see. It's not a 1/4. What size is that? It's not an 8. Is that an 8 or a 9? Is that a 9 ratchet wrench? I didn't know I had a 9 ratchet wrench. Okay. Let's see here. Did somebody strip it? Oh, there it is. I thought it was stripped when I did it with the other wrench. Should be able to pull this pin. That's some good looking gear oil coming out. Plus, the gasket kind of stayed onto the cover. I think somebody's been in there before. I think we gotta roll it around the other way, because this pin comes out one way, or does it? Should come out of there. It goes through easier that way, but hard this way. Should we flip it around? There it goes. Make sure you put all your parts in a nice, clean area. You should be able to roll that diff. And there's one of your spider gears. We want to make sure we put that back on top. Here's the one for the bottom. Put that there. Now we should be able to push the axles in. I got oil all over my hands. I think they go. Oops, that was one of the clips that just fell. I pushed the axle in. That's one of the clips there. Let's make sure there's nothing else laying in here, no metal. We'll just scoop that out of there. I don't see any metal or anything, that's good. No sparkles. So now I gotta go push the other axle. me go over there. It'll probably fall out once Yep. I figured it was going to do that. It's all good. There's your other little clip, horseshoe clip. Alright, so now we can pull the axles out of the rear end. Let me get my hands cleaned up and we'll pull them out. I'm really shocked at the oil in the axle is that clean. I think somebody's probably been in here. It looks like this side wasn't even leaking. They probably put an axle seal on this side only and then do the other side. And that's why that side was leaking. I don't know if any oil's gonna come out of here. Nah, that seal looks old. There's the axle spline shaft. So I recommend, if you're going to do it, do both sides, because I would put both axle seals if you're going to do it. All right, let's go over here to the other side. Pull this other axle out. And then we can pop the old seals out. Hopefully we got the correct seals. Because they made so many different rear ends and configurations. So let's see. That one's kind of stiff. It's got an orange mark on it. Could be a junkyard axle. But yeah, these seals, we should have checked the play, made sure the bearings, they feel nice. I guess just wore out seals. So what we need now is one of those seal pullers, which I got. Pop that seal out. It's kind of easy to do the brakes too without the axle in the way, because you can actually get a better view of the brakes. Seals on the front seat. Hopefully we got the right ones. Let's see what we got. Wheel seals. Axle seals. I really don't want to be running back and forth to parts places today. It looks like it. It's a SKF 16040. Yep. That looks like the axle seal. This is a 10-bolt rear end. So this is a heavy duty rear end. So just grab that seal with the pick. Pop her right out of there. Boom. Make sure we didn't put no dirt back in there. Yeah, the bearings, they're nice and lubed. They feel pretty good. I don't see any wear on the axle. So what we need to do is put a little, I always put like a little oil or something. Anytime you do a seal, you don't want to put it in dry. So I normally put some oil, gear oil, whatever I'm working on. In this case, we'll put a little gear oil around the lip. That way we won't be putting it in dry. So I'm going to take my finger and dip it in the gear oil. We're going to lube this seal up. And get us like a socket. Or a mallet. I don't want to use a real hammer. That side's in. Let me see how far is the other one. It's got a little bit of the lip of the axle showing. That's too small. I just wanted to go back in a little bit more. Is that big enough? Yeah. As far back as it goes. We'll probably clean this axle off too. Yeah. Looks like it needs to go in at the top some. Yeah, that'll do it there. So now we need to go to the other side. Same scenario. Same scenario on this side. Actually got a light for this side. You know it's not as bright as the other one. Go get the axle pick. I mean seal pick. And the seal. This one don't want to come out. I think that other one's been changed. Well, no, that's the leaky side. That one's out. Garbage. Bearing feels good. A little better. Same thing, lube the seal up. That's a long reach. Get to that oil pan. Lube that up real good. It worked better with that mallet I had. Get it started. Really need a bigger hammer. Let me get a bigger, where I can get more swing out of it. There we go. Oop. That one went on in there. Good. Just make sure when you're putting seals in, you want to hit this outer edge. Do not hit the middle, because it will push in and it'll make that lip kind of odd shape and you'll have a leak. So both seals are in. The axles, I need to clean them off. Probably just shoot them off with some brake cleaner or something. Let's see what we got here. Get some brake cleaner. I just want to clean off right up in here what his flange is. We'll get that out too. Even though the seal don't ride all the way up there, I still want to get all the grease and dirt off of it. That feels real good where the bearing goes. There's no scars, nice and smooth. If you see any scars or anything where the bearing rides, then that means that that seal is not going to seal. So let me get some brake cleaner from we'll put some grease on the axle too, so that way it have double protection. I'll set this on here like that. I'm gonna clean it all the way down the axle. I'm gonna get all this old grease and stuff off. Like that. Oh, I got a rag. That rag is flaky. You can hear the dirt coming off of it. That ain't gonna work. Yeah, that looks good. All right, we'll get some grease or some gear oil. We'll just put some on here anyway, even though we got some on the seal. And get it ready to go back in. See what? There we go. Like I said, want to make sure everything's nice and lubed up so that seal won't start out dry. And we have to pull all this back apart again, which is not bad. I mean, but you want to do it right the first time. So I'm gonna put some little gear oil on there. Be careful not to touch the seal. If you can. Really need somebody on that end to guide you through. Yeah, I don't want to go. I can't feel it reaching all the way down there. I'm trying not to let it rest on the seal, but oh man, there we go. Whew. All right, you want to push it all the way in so that way you can put the clip back on there. So let's go to the other side and do the same thing. I'm gonna have to clean this axle. So I'll get some brake cleaner, clean that axle off. Alright, so my camera battery died, so I had to charge up both batteries. I guess this cold weather is kind of drawing them down. I left one of them outside overnight, and I didn't charge up the one in the camera. So anyway, while I was waiting on that, I went ahead and threw the brake shoes, the new wheel cylinders, and all on there. I think it's a lot easier to do if you're doing it with your axles out anyway, because you can get to everything. The rear brake shoes is a Pt.4, Pt.47 Napa brand, and The wheel cylinders is a 37048 wheel cylinders, just in case you're doing one of these trucks. They got two different size brakes. They got some that's a little narrower, which was on here, which was the wrong ones, and they got the bigger ones, I guess, for the 10-bolt rear end. So I'm gonna go ahead and slide the axle in. Here comes my heater. Job getting it back in there. I said I don't really want to hit that seal. Whoop. So that's back together now. Now I just got to go on the other side. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pull that axle back out and do the brakes on that side and get this differential back together. Goes back together in reverse. That's what I took it apart. Got new brake drums. Get the new brake drums on there. And matter of fact, I'll show you those. Just trying to speed ahead and get this thing wrapped up so we can take it out for a test drive. These are Napa brand brake drums. They're the big ones. So the part number on these 44-1234, and they are the huge brake drums because they got two different size brake drums. So these are the bigger ones, and like I say, this is a 10-bolt rear end, so it takes the bigger brake drums. And why are they not fitting? What's going on here? Well, that ain't right. Or is it just off? Oh, it's just off. Had me nervous for a minute. But yeah, so these are the big brake drums for the big 10-bolt. So like I said, I'm gonna go and finish all this up, and I got to get a pipe hanger for the exhaust because they got a strap holding it, and I'm gonna have to get a hanger for it. Fix that while I'm up under here. Might have to make a store run. And the emergency brake cable, I got to check it out. I don't know what's up with it, but anywho, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up and get this done. Be moving on. All right, so let's go ahead and put this rear end back together. Finally, let's get these little axle horseshoe looking retainers back on here. Now I got both axles pushed all the way in. You have to be careful because those things will go flying out. So what you want to do, once you get them in there, push your axles back, because inside of these spider gears, it's like a recess where those little horseshoes sit, and they won't come out. So now we need to get this gear back in there. Which can be a job. I think you have to turn the axles and it will allow it to go in there. I can't remember. can't remember how they go back in there. Let's see if we can get the bottom one in. Well, actually, that is the top one, I think. I don't think it really matters because they both got the same amount of wear. But getting them back in there is... I got it out with it like that, so should go back in there. Let me see if I can turn it. It shouldn't be that hard to go back in. Come on. Ah, boy. How do you go back in there? Do you go in from the back side? Maybe the back side is wider. Let's try it. Man, I can't remember how these go back in there. They fell right out of there. There we go. You got to kind of tilt them, get them in the gear, and then slide them in there. So. Now hopefully, tilt it into the gear, and then you push, and hopefully the other one don't come out, which is trying to. Just kind of turn them by hand, I guess. Nope, that one slid back out. Do I need to put the pin in there a little bit? I got that one in. It's like I get that one in and that one comes out. Let me see, what if I go all the way that way to where that gear is about to fall out, and then I push it, let's see, let me hold this. I guess I gotta almost let that gear fall out of there, but it's in the teeth. All the way back, pick this one up, stick it in. Now I might be doing this wrong, but it's been a while since I messed with one of these. GM, is that it? Man, what in the world is going on here? I got it in there, but I can't, this one's lined up, but the bottom one ain't. When I move that one, the other one falls out. Let me go all the way, almost out. Is that it? Yep. You gotta kind of play with them. You gotta hold one of them kind of in the gear at the back with your hand, like cuff it, and then you tilt the top one and kind of push it, and it'll kind of roll, and then you can take your fingers and make sure the hole is lined up. So now we got to get the pin back in. Man, that thing looks kind of rough. Like somebody beat on it or something at one time. So this pin goes in. I guess somebody couldn't get it out and it kind of tapped on it or something, I don't know. But it goes right in there. And then that's got lined up. And now your axles are in. They can't go anywhere because, number one, they're against this pin, so they can't move in. And they can't go out because of the clips. So you want to make sure you get that bolt tighten up good, I think. What did I use? That was the wrong size. I want to say is this 8. Really just need a ratchet. I think that's what I'm gonna go get. Let me go get a socket, and that way I can really get it tight. Alright, I think I got the right size here. Yep, it's 8mm or 5/16. You want to get that thing tight because if that bolt comes out, this pin comes out, you're screwed. And it can get caught up in there and tear up some stuff. So lock up the rear end. So you want to get that tight. Alright, now we can put our diff cover on. I've cleaned the surface. They didn't even have a gasket on here, it was just silicone. But we got a new gasket. Since I get all this grease off my hand. The fan is nice and clean. And the gasket is a Felpro gasket. Part number RDS 55028-1. So it goes like that. Just gotta have those holes lined up. So I'm going to put this gasket somewhere. Because I'm going to put a little sealant on the diff cover. I'm going to put some I guess you can use silicone, but I prefer you use gasket maker on top of the gasket. Smear some on there. You don't have to go crazy with it. Put some on the diff cover. This just guarantees that it don't leak, because you don't want a leaky rear end. I have seen people just try and reuse the old gasket and it just leaks. Then they had to take it all back apart, drain all the oil back out, and put a new gasket. I mean, for $5 or $6, I would say, well, I think that's what it costs, but I would say the gasket is the only way to go. So line those holes up, and let's see, how does she go on? She went like that. I was trying to hurry up and do it for the rest of that oil started running out. And two of the, I put the silicone. There's still quite a bit of oil in there. Get it all set up nicely here. All right, so I got the new brake line. It's got to go on there too. And it is part number 36765, a Napa brand brake hose. I mean, brake line, brake hose, who cares? But it goes right there on that bracket. You have to put that bracket on the new hose. It don't come with it. And then you got this thing here that covers that emergency brake cable on the other side. It holds it. Let me go over there and snap it back where it's supposed to go. And we got our brake line. It goes into that little think that's a 3/8. I'm missing a bolt somewhere. Where did the bolt go? I'm missing a bolt. Where did the bolt go? Where did the bolt go to? I think I know what happened. I think this bolt up here is that right? Yeah, this bolt here so remember when I took the bracket off, it was just want to snug it. Well, I didn't do that one first. That was dumb. And this one. Just want to get the gasket seated. Now I gotta hook the brake line up. Then up here, it goes to the brake line up here. I gotta go get a wrench. We are looking good. Tighten this brake line up. The reason why I left that one loose, because I'm sorry, I'm pushing y'all away. It's kind of tight up under here. But the reason why I left that one bolt loose, so I can be able to move this around a little bit to get the brake lines in there. And then I'll go tighten it up. But I'll say if you're going to do something like this, replace all the brake hoses if they haven't been replaced, because they can be a nightmare. Oh, I'm sorry, I gotta get some space here. Tighten this up. And don't use vice grips unless somebody has already used them on the brake lines, because they just destroy the fittings. And you have to use vice grips to get them off. Because this one here, I had to use vice grips to get it off. Use your Align wrench. These special wrenches are made for hoses and brake lines, by a line wrench I mean, they're made to go around the line, and then you can easily latch on to the fitting. Most likely you won't strip them. Clip is on there. Now I can tighten up that other bolt. Snug that up. Put the brake drums on. And I'll probably throw some black paint on the drums so that surface rust won't build up. And I got to take, there's a screw on the other side of the diff right here. You got to take it out and fill it up with oil till the oil starts to come out, I believe. There's like a little drain, not drain, but fill screw. Should be. Should be right there. So you gotta squirt it in there with a grease bottle. That screw right there. You take it loose with a ratchet and stick your ratchet in there, and you will be good to go. Fill it up till it comes out. So like I say, I'm gonna get the brake drums on, throw some paint on them. So when you look through the wheels, you see black, not rust, because that stuff they put on the brake drums, it lasts for so long, then it starts surface rust. Get it all on, adjust the brakes, and got a few more things to do. Test drive time. So it's time. It is time to see if this thing even moves forward and backwards, and if the brakes will actually stop it. So what happened was I went through and I had to bleed all the brakes, couldn't get the back brakes to work. Come to find out, the line coming from the proportionate valve all the way to the rear was completely clogged up with old brake fluid and rust and all kinds of stuff. So I took all the lines loose, blew them out with air, shot some brake cleaner through them, cleaned all that out, was able to get the brakes bled up. Now we got a full pedal. Also, I fixed the exhaust. I don't know if you've seen it. It had like a tow strap wrapped around one of the tailpipes on the driver's side. We got an exhaust hanger for that. We put a new transmission rear tail seal. It's got fresh fluid in the differential. So let's see would it even move and stop, and then we can move on with doing the headlights and stuff like that. Finally get the hood on it, and then we can take it for a test drive. So let's see what happens. Okay. Sounds throaty. Let's see. Well, going right in drive. Full pedal brake. It's not sinking down or nothing. Hold my foot on it for a minute. Feels pretty good. All right, let's put it in reverse. Not reverse, no, let's drive. The little indicator on the steering column don't work, so you got to feel for it. All right. The brakes feel real good. That's what I like. Full pedal. The brake light's even working. That's good. So that's neutral. and drive. Okay, I feel it. I think a couple of the old headlights work. One of them real dim, it's no good. Well, the ground's not hooked up. So, does the horn work? The horn works. That's cool. Sound kind of weak. I like it. Oh yeah. This gear shifter, I gotta grease it up. Kind of scary and kind of jumped in gear earlier. Let's see. That's reverse. Sure don't want to jump in gear because it's a wrap. And I gotta put a new throttle spring on it too. Look at that, it's running. Like I say, the ground wire on that headlight is chewed off. That's why it's so dim. And for some reason, they got the headlights pointing down. I guess shine on the road more. Need to put some belt dressing on the belts. They're kind of squeaky. Man, it's hitting on all 8. That tail lights, I like it. Let's see what we got here. We have no dash lights. I guess the bulbs are bad. It might be because of the ground. Got good temperature going on there. We got good oil pressure. Let's see. Crank her up. And of course the heat works. Cool. So we got some high density headlight bulbs that we're gonna put in. Sylvania bulbs. We got H4656 and H4651. And what else do we got over here? Oh, those are the wheel cylinders that need to be taken back. But anyway, it's got brakes. Hopefully the transmission shifts out. And like I say, I gotta fix the wiring for the headlights and stuff. And this thing will be ready to go on the road. Problem I had with one of the Krager wheels, wheels did not fit right. We kind of slammed it on the back, but it's not the right wheel, and it wouldn't fit these drums at all that we got, because this is not a deep dish rim. It's actually deeper, the offset is on the outside. And look at these, the offset is deeper on the inside. So I had to put the stock Steely back on. I didn't want to, but for some reason I couldn't get it to fit these drums. I guess the way the fins are made. So he's going to have to find the matching rim that's deep so you can put it on the rear, and it wouldn't fit the front either. So same bolt pattern. Of course, these Kragers are universal. They got the Unilug. So, but everything looks nice and tidy. I got to put the AC lines on and stuff. Even though the AC is not going to be charged up, still put all the lines on. Put the washer bottle in and the coolant reservoir bottle. And this old girl will be ready to head home soon. So hopefully the transmission shifts out good and everything, and yeah, it'll be going back home and back on the road. Okay guys, so we finally got the 1982 Chevy Silverado up and ready for the road. We went through the brakes, as you can see in the video. We went through swapping the engine on it. We went through a lot of the electrical things on it. Found out it had some chewed wires and stuff like that. It does have a wiring issue for the headlights. So someone had bypassed the high beam and low beam switch, and so it only has high beam. So it's going to need a cab harness, actually. We put a heater core in it, got the heat going. A lot of things we did to it. So truck runs really good. Of course, you know this engine was locked. The engine that we put in there was locked, and we got it unlocked and got the truck running. I did sneak and drive it the other day, and the transmission slips in third gear. These things have a D10 cable on them that controls the line pressure inside of the transmission. Now, I thought that cable was just a passing gear cable. The older Chevy 350 transmissions, that cable that run from the carburetor down to the transmission controls your passing gear. Let's just say if you're on the interstate, you're in third gear or whatever, you want to go around somebody, mash down on the gas, it drops it down to like second. These here, they use line pressure. I thought it was electronically controlled, but when this truck shifts to third gear, transmission slips. So I went through, we got a new D10 cable for it. Put that on there. You can adjust the shift points, but you can't adjust the slip. So I'm gonna get it out here and drive it, take y'all around the block, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. But other than that, it's a long wheelbase truck. I mean, short wheelbase is where it's at these days. You can pick these trucks up cheap, and you can use them, or you can fix them up. People fixing up long wheelbases because the short wheelbase, I mean, they're high. I mean, just somewhat of a short wheelbase is expensive. And or you can buy the kit to cut the frame and make it a short wheelbase and just get a short wheelbase bed. So let's take it around the block and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Second gear right there. Sometimes it'll shift to second, sometimes it'll shift to third, sometimes it won't. I've adjusted on that cable a lot. Then I get down to it. Right now it's just stuck in second gear. There's something going on inside of the transmission. You can adjust that cable to make different shift points. And I think the last time I adjusted it, now it just stays in second gear a long time. It has to stay in the second. There you go. Slip right in. Once it's finally shifted to third, slip. The way I got it set up is it stays in second a little bit longer. So at least he can drive it, the transmission guy. I mean, you can drive it anyway, it's just when it shifts to third gear, your actual drive gear. Motor sounds good though. First and second gear is good. And the steering feels good and tight. I mean, these old trucks usually they squeaking and rattling. I mean, you hear a little rattle, but that's just this window over here. But it feels pretty good. Gas hand working. Turn signals working. If I adjust the cable where it'll shift quicker into second, then it hops into third really fast and slips really hard then. Other than that third gear problem, it runs really good. I don't want to get to going too far with it because I don't want the transmission to go all the way out. Let's try it anyway. Got my mirror adjusted wrong. I can't see nothing. Probably a bit straight away right here. Second gear. These 700Rs are 3-speed. I wonder, can we manually shift it? I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna put it down in first gear. Gotta be first. That's first gear. Second gear. Third gear. Slip right there. So that's telling you that it's not nothing with the cable. It's in the transmission. So I can manually shift it to third and we lose it. So now I ain't going nowhere. Now I gotta slow down, let the transmission catch back up. Okay. Now we're back down first. Yeah, so it's definitely gonna need a transmission overhaul. That's probably why they parked it in the first place. I'm real far from home, so I was hoping that the transmission don't just go all the way out. Alright, let's get it back. Alright guys, there it is. 82 Chevy Silverado, back up and running after sitting for many years. So we went through everything, we did the best we can. Transmission's got to be rebuilt. So the guy's going to take it to the transmission shop, get it rebuilt, and I think it's going to the body shop to get a paint job on it. I think he's going with a two-tone color. But anyway, if y'all like, share, subscribe. If y'all like this content, let me know. Anything that you would like to see on the channel, just let me know. Leave a comment. I'll try and do it. I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there doing a lot of other things that's drawing a lot of attention, but I can't be like everybody, but I try and do what you guys want. So if you like junkyard exploring and car shows and rebuilds and stuff like that, just leave a comment. Leave thumbs up. Anyway, this old truck is ready to go back. I think he's got a new tailgate for it. It's hitting on all the cylinders. Decent long wheelbase. I mean, I know everybody's not a favor of the long wheelbase, but that's all you can really get these days. And I know everybody like LS swaps, but sometimes you just want to keep them simple. And that's what the guy wanted, something simple and original. So that's what we gave him. Engine's running really, really good. That sun not doing any justice, but pretty much can see. No smoke. All right. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. This wind is killing me. So y'all like, share, subscribe as always. Like I said, check out the second channel, RPM Auto Moto. Go on the Instagram page, RPM Auto. Go on Facebook, RPM Auto. Check out our other Facebook group page, the Old Schoolers Memphis Car Group. You can go on Facebook and check out that. I'll try and plug it in too. So, all right, y'all, I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all have a good, safe holiday. Christmas just around the corner, like I said, and we'll see y'all later.